Hello, my friends. So here I am. I'm in the kitchen. I'm I've washed my floors. I should wait for them to dry to walk on, but I know. I'm gonna open the window because that'll dry the floors. So I've got a show tonight at a place called the Cotton Club, which is like a exotic dance bar, the Peeler Bar, I guess some people call it, the strip club. Um, there's not going to be. It's not a strip show. I'm going to. It's a burlesque show that I'm involved with, and I often do sets with this burlesque troupe. And I don't do burlesque. I do comedy. And so I'm going to go and do a set there. The theme is naughty or nice. I'm neither, really. You know, it's kind of like, you might as well ask me if, like, I'm itchy or tired. Like, yeah, both, neither. I don't know. I'm just muckling through. So that's happening. I still have to sort of have to bring together a set. So I've got lots of written bits that need to now be turned into a thing to work for tonight's theme. So that's a thing that's going to happen today. But what's really going to happen today that I'm very excited about is I'm making beef bourguignon. I know, lush, very lush. So for beef bourguignon, I use stewing beef. There's a smelly thing in my fridge. I'm gonna deal with that. Right? That was awful. That stank. It was a cauliflower floret in the back of the fridge that was definitely going off, and the smell was unbearable. So I bagged it up, put it in the outdoor bin, and I spilled water on the floor. Clean that up before someone gets hurt. Someone being me. All right, I've got my coffee tools together. Let's give her a pour. It's a good sound. Put the rest in a thermos so it stays hot for the morning, because I just use a press. All right, so beef bourguignon. I first had beef bourguignon in France a few years ago. A friend of the woman who owned the place where I was staying made it, and it was incredible. Sometimes food can just be life-changing, and this was one of those times. So I've been making it ever since, basically. And let's see. And it's good stuff. So I thought maybe you would like to take part in my beef bourguignon today. It's been a year since I've made it, actually, And so trying to remember what happens. It requires bacon. It requires, well, if you're making beef bourguignon, it requires beef. I do a vegan one sometimes because I have a vegan friend who we sometimes eat with. And I'll do portobellos with that one as opposed to beef. Green onions and chives are a good thing to have for beef bourguignon. Garlic, a couple cloves. I don't know if this is a thing that happens in other places in the world, but in Newfoundland, we only have good garlic for like 6 months. And then our garlic is awful after that. It starts to get old. And you know how old garlic tastes? I don't know if anybody else will know what I'm talking about. Old garlic. It's awful. Carrots. Now, I make my beef bourguignon with mashed potatoes on the side. Mashed potatoes and chives on the side. So I use white or yellow potatoes, whatever potato you like having mash with it, basically. I use butter, and chives. The beef bourguignon, I need thyme and bay leaves, and some salt and some pepper. And we'll see the flavor that I get off of it. I may or may not add a vegetable cube. Sometimes I do if it's necessary, but sometimes it's not. Depends on how the meat is, the flavor of the meat, how old the vegetables, the carrots are. Sometimes you just need a bit more. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to chop up my bacon into little bits, and I'm going to cook it in my big pot. Of course, I forgot the main thing. It is not beef bourguignon without a little bit of Pinot Noir. All right, back to it.
Right there on top of the moon, we could sit and do nothing. I wish we were bold to just fly away. I don't want to care.
So, bacon's in the pan. Once your bacon's in the pan, you need to fry it. After you fry your bacon, you take it out, drain off your fat, and then you'll cook your beef in your bacon fat. I want my beef chunks smaller than these, so I'm going to cut them.
I'm good alone. I'll be okay, miss you like an old friend. Too scared now, thinking I should call up all night. I think it's hard how we always wait another day. How we watch.
So, bacon's still cooking. You want your bacon to cook really well. I don't peel my carrots. I leave the skin on. It's good stuff. And I know I had a knife. Where did I put it? In the sink room, of course. So, take the tips off. And the tops. I'm going to cut them down. the bacon's well cooked, I'm going to pop it in a pan or bowl. Now, you're going to look at this and you're going to think, oh, she's got the bottom of her pan all burnt up. What a shame. But what you don't know is that that is the best part. So, pour off the bacon fat. You keep some. That's exactly what you want. That is what you're putting this in. So, beef is in the pan. And now you just brown off your beef. So, I've got the beef in the pot. Let's get my... So what will happen as the beef cooks, the burnt on bacon fat on the bottom of the pan will come away, and that makes a beautiful stock. So hopefully the magic happens and we won't have to use a beef stock. So I'm just going to brown this off and then on to the next step.
Let's live down by the water, watch it come and go home.
So my meat is browned. And the bottom of the pot is cleaned of all the bacon debris. Well, most of it. At this point, I add the good stuff. So if I didn't cook the alcohol off of this soup would give me horrible, horrible heartburn. But luckily, I get to enjoy the flavor and not have heartburn from it. So I'm going to dump all of this into the pot. You can listen. Now some people add water as well. I'll only add water if it needs to be topped up. I consider the soup to be my stock. Now I've got a big bunch of thyme and I'm going to use the whole thing. So what I do is I just sort of tie it off on itself. Make a little belt for it like that. That gets chucked in the pot. I'll show you now once everything's in. I'll show you the pot. I've got 5 bay leaves, handful of bay leaves there into the pot. I've got pepper. I'm going to give it a bit of a blast of pepper. This pepper never hurts. And then my bowl of vegetables go in. Holy moly. That smells good. So, the bacon, I'm going to save for last. When the stew is cooked, so it's going to sit and cook for like, look at that, all that good stuff in there. So that'll cook till the carrots are soft, sometimes 40 minutes, about an hour, because I do it on a low heat with the lid on for some of it. I let the alcohol cook off a bit first before I put the lid on. When it's cooked, then I add the bacon. And while it's cooking, I make the mashed potatoes. So, mashed potatoes. I've got on a pot of water. I'm going to lightly salt it. Oh my goodness. That stew. I cannot describe to you the smell of that stew, but it is great. So, mashed potatoes. You get a few potatoes, then you make mash. I'm probably going to do something like that, I think. And I will peel my potatoes for mash. So, once your potatoes peeled, pop them in the pot to boil. Well, and my stew is beginning to boil, so you don't want your stew to boil as such. You want it to stew. So if you notice it boiling, turn the heat down. All right, potatoes in the pot. Next, so potatoes are boiling in the pot. I'm going to want butter. So I like to get a good amount. So like, let's go 1/4 cup out there of butter. I'm just going to use this lid from the composter container I used, which was just a Tupperware, to hold my butter. And I'm going to want to use some whipping cream, like not even a 1/4 cup, almost, but not even. And got our bacon bits to go in at the end. Chives. So I'm just going to chop them now, and they're ready to go when I make the mash. And if anyone thinks that I need new, sharper knives, well, you can send them to me. So, while I'm waiting, for my potatoes to boil, I am going to have a snack. So, some of my homemade bread. Oh, wrong end. Do it on the right end. So I cut myself some butter. Butter was in the fridge, so it's gone hard. And there's this lovely jam that Lou picked up, peach cantaloupe. And so that's some of this bread. Look at that. It's good. Ooh, she's tart. Perfect. Up. I don't know which way's up, but it's a thumbs up. So look at those mashed potatoes. Mashed potato. Oh, oh, oh. So, just off the boil. They're still steaming. My mashed potatoes. So I don't cook my potatoes till they're soft. I cook them till they're sort of soft. Add some cream to them. Throw in the butter, because the butter's the most important part, and lots of it. And then the chives. And then swirl it around a bit. Get the butter melted some. All kind of incorporated. And then I lightly mash. Just a light mash. So there you go. I like my potatoes mashed out like that. Now there's still lots of heat in there, so pop the lid back on. And those potatoes will be just the perfect al dente when you go to eat them. All right, I'm fighting with the camera, and I did some steps and didn't think to record them. So the stew's been stewing for a bit. It's pretty carroty tasting, I'm not gonna lie. It's got some strong carrot flavor. So I did add a vegetable stock to it. Cube stock to it. And I topped it up with about a cup of water. I pulled out the thyme, because you just don't want it to be, once all the thyme leaves fall off and it's soaked for that long, cooked in it for that long, the flavor's transferred. So there's your broth. You can see that the beef takes on, oh look, your beef almost takes on the color of the wine. Well, it does take on the color of the wine. So now that I've topped up the water, and I've taken out the thyme, and I've put in one of those, I'm going to now add the bacon back in. So you don't have to add salt to this soup at all, or stew, I guess. The bacon provides that. And you mix that back in. Some lovely stuff that is. Now, just gonna look at my mash. Got a spoon. Oh, beautiful. So there's lots of like firm bits of potato in the mash. That's how I like it. Hello, cat face. Please don't knock things over. All right. Let's get it served up. Okay, here we go. Scoop of potato. Scoop of stew. Get a bit more. There we go. And seeing as how I've got it here, can you hear that sound? Let's see if it happens again. That's the cat rattling things on the shelf behind me because he thinks he'll get treats for it. Can't imagine who taught him that. All right. Hunk of bread. Gorgeous. Look at that. Let's have a go. Yeah. It's perfect. The bacon still has a bit of crunch. The carrots are soft and they're still like al dente. Al dente? So like not soft, firm potatoes in the mash. And the mash sort of softer bits mixed with your broth a bit. That's good. Right. Thanks for watching.